Okay, can everybody hear me? Is the sound okay? Please type on the screen before I begin. Okay, good. Ina alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. We're continuing with the topic of the principles of Islam, the principles of faith. We focused yesterday in on what it means to have love and fear of Allah. What happens to those of us who don't love and fear Allah over others? Well, Allah will cause the people to see you for what you are. If you are a person who fears the people more than you fear Allah, or you're so concerned with pleasing the people instead of pleasing Allah, Allah will reveal to the people what you are, the hypocrite that you are, and He will cause the people to hate you, to not trust you. And on the other hand, if you are a person who loves Allah above everything and fears Him over everything else, so you live your life obeying Him, doing what He commands you to do, despite what other people say, Allah will cause the people, the believers, to love you, and the non-Muslims, He will cause them to respect you. They may not like you. The non-Muslims are never going to like us. They're never going to accept us. And you should care less. As long as they respect you, that's all that matters. As long as they respect me. As long as whenever I speak, I am heard. That's all I care about. I could care less about being friends. I don't want to be friends with them because their lifestyle is not mine anyway. I look down upon them. You're supposed to look down upon the unbelievers. They're like animals, most of them are. They give in to their desires. So I'm not looking for their approval or acceptance. All I want is their respect. And Allah will cause them to respect you if you put Him first and foremost in your love and your fear. So that's what we spoke about yesterday. Today we're going to speak about trust. How not only should we love Allah above everything and fear Him above everything, but also we need to trust in Him. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning. Put your trust in Allah if you are indeed a believer. Again, this is another verse of the Qur'an in which Allah is telling us a characteristic of a believer. Another characteristic of a believer is they trust in Allah. They put Allah first and foremost over anyone and anything else. Also, Allah says the believers are those who, when Allah's name is mentioned, a fear comes in their hearts. And when His words of the Qur'an are told to them, it increases their faith. And they put their trust in Allah alone. A true believer, if you go to that true believer and say, sister, you're supposed to wear hijab. Hijab is not a choice. Hijab is an obligation. It will, if she truly believes in Allah, it will cause her fear of His anger to increase, and she'll put that hijab on and start wearing it, not caring what other people think. She could care less what other people might say or do to her because she knows Allah will protect her. And also Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning, O Muhammad, Allah is all you need. And He's all that any of the believers who follow you need. Again, Allah is letting us know. Whenever you trust in someone or anything else, they'll let you down. Man will let you down. Man will disappoint you over and over and over again. But Allah will never let you down. As Muslims, as true believers, we have to trust in Him, put our faith in Him, and follow His commands, His guidance. Because if you follow any other way or any other guidance, you will be disappointed. All you need is Allah. Because nothing on this earth can harm or benefit you unless Allah wills it. Listen to what Ibn Abbas said. He said, Allah alone is all we need. He is the best disposer of your affairs. And this was said by Prophet Ibrahim when he was thrown into the fire. It was also said by the Prophet Muhammad when the hypocrites tried to rally against him. So fear Allah, guys. He's all we need. Look at what happened with Abraham. His family, his whole city was against him. because he refused to worship an idol. So they threw him in an oven to bake him, to kill him. But Allah caused the heat to not touch him. The next morning when they went to take his body out, his bone, what they thought to be his bones, he was sitting there in the oven smiling, unharmed, because Allah protected him. And this is the story of so many other prophets. You know how Allah protected them, including our prophet Muhammad. When the Quraysh rallied against him with a great army, the Muslims didn't even have any weapons, any horses. But Allah brought victory to those Muslims because they trusted in Allah. So again, guys, our love and our fear should only be for Allah, because nothing can harm you unless He allows it. As Allah says in the Qur'an, in the interpretation of meaning, did they feel secure against the plan of Allah? No one feels secure from the plan of Allah except people who are ignorant and lost. You think that Allah is not in control here? You think that you can outwhip Allah, outsmart Him, win battles against Him? Only ignorant people believe that way. People who are like animals, who are worse than animals, because even the animals believe in Allah. They know that their daily sustenance comes from Him. And also Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning, who despairs of the mercy of Allah except people who are astray? Again, we should never give up hope. This is why suicide is haram. And anyone who commits suicide will be in the hellfire forever, never to be forgiven. Because this is a person who gave up hope. This is a person who no longer believed in Allah. So he thought the only way out was through his taking his own life. You know, these are people who are led astray. These are people who don't believe, and nothing good will happen to them in this world or the hereafter. So we should never despair the mercy of Allah. There's always hope. Never think that there's no way out of your situation. Allah will cause mountains to move for you. We have a hadith where, as one companion asked the Prophet, he said, tell me some of the worst sins that we can commit as human beings. And the Prophet said the worst sin that any of us can commit is to associate partners with Allah. And the second worst sin is to lose hope. This is again why suicide is haram. You got some ignorant Muslims out there telling you that Allah will forgive suicide. No, He will not. Because if you die from suicide, you have died the death of an unbeliever, because you lost hope of relief from Allah. And also the Prophet ﷺ said the third worst sin is to think yourself secure from the plan of Allah, thinking that Allah cannot harm you, that there's nothing that's going to happen to you. And again, these all fall in the categories of associating partners with Allah and disbelief. The Prophet ﷺ said the greatest of the major sins is to associate partners with Allah, to think yourself secure from Allah's plan, and to lose hope. So again, guys, this is what we have to work on. Ramadan was just a month away, a month ago. I was looking at that. A month ago, guys, we were fasting. A little over a month ago, we were fasting. And I told you guys, you know, as we go towards the next Ramadan, to continue to work on bettering yourself. Continue to work on developing your faith. Continue to work on improving yourself. And again, that's why I'm teaching this series. I'm reiterating again the principles of faith, the principles of belief, so you can better yourself and continue to grow. Never lose hope. Never think that your situation is so bad that there is no way out. Just when you think you can take it no more, that's when Allah always sends His relief. So again, guys, you have to trust in Allah. Without trusting in Allah, you will lose hope. Without trusting in Allah, you will have despair of His mercy. Without trusting in Allah, you will think yourself secure from Allah's plan. So again, I want us to work on this, trusting in Allah. My trust in Allah is why I wear hijab in redneck America. My trust in Allah is why I wear my beard despite what people think about terrorists. My trust in Allah is why I stay away from fornication and adultery and alcohol and drugs, even though everybody around me say it's okay. My trust in Allah is why I stay in my home trying to better myself instead of going out seeking entertainment and the life of this world. So again, you want to be a true believer, you better work on developing that trust in Allah. And on that note, we'll stop right here for today. If you guys have any questions or comments, type them on the screen. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika.